What up, y'all? What up, y'all? It's Middleman TV in the building, man. And I promised y'all I was gonna go live, man. I just got my second job back, so I'm not able to always go live during the fights because I work Fridays and Saturdays. So I was not able to go live during the fight, which is what I wanted to do. I knew this was gonna be a great show. Rolly Romero, Pitbull, Cruz in the co-feature, Sebastian fundora, Tim Tysu in the main event. I knew that this was gonna be a tremendous show and I knew that I wanted to go live for y'all, but unfortunately I was at work, so I didn't have a chance to. So I promised I would make a post-fight reaction, and we gonna get right to it, man. As I'm smoking this blunt, man. First of all, hell of a show. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was gonna be a good show. Do I think it was worth pay-per-view? Absolutely not. But that's why I streamed it for free. I watched it for free. I hope you didn't have to pay for it. If you were able to stream the fight for free somehow, immense to you. We're gonna get right to it, man. We're gonna talk about the whole card, including Carmel Moulton. We're gonna get right to it, man. I wanna give y'all the whole breakdown. So I didn't see the Carmel Moulton fight against Anthony Cuba, but I did see the highlights. And man, what I gotta say about Carmel Moulton, he's here to stay. He is gonna be a future star in this game. He's only 17, 18 years old. He's already fighting undefeated fighters that are decent, who got experience, and Carmel Moulton is making him look like light work, easy cheese. You see what I'm saying? So Carmel Moulton's coming, man. He's coming quick. I wouldn't be surprised if Carmel Moulton fights a big name, a real name in the next year. Like he's just moving that fast, man. He's moving as fast as Keyshawn, maybe even faster. Like he's moving real fast. So I was real impressed with him. So the first fight that I watched fully was Brian Mendoza versus this European dude. I think his name was Dacek. Can't remember his name exactly, but that fight was entertaining, man. Let me just say, that fight was hella entertaining. Mendoza, I had Mendoza losing every round. I did have him win the final two rounds of that fight. Mendoza got a chin, man. Mendoza was getting hit with some of dude's best shots. Now, keep in mind, Sebastian fundora was supposed to fight Buddy that beat Brian Mendoza. And what's crazy is the way dude was beating the hell out of Brian Mendoza, man. It's a good chance. It's a good chance that that dude might have beaten fundora. Like we just don't know. Like you can't really compare and contrast because every style make a fight and every fight is different. But based on what I saw from dude is a good fighter, man. Fundora caught a tremendous blessing that Keith Thurman pulled out the fight, and that he got an opportunity to fight Tim Tszyu in the main event, and that they brought Brian Mendoza in to fight Buddy. But Buddy beat the hell out of Brian Mendoza. Mendoza has a hell of a chin, and he won that fight easily. In the second fight, Landi Lara was fighting Michael Zarafa, and I didn't know Landi Lara's 41 years old, man. I knew he was 40. I thought, but they say he was 41, or he's about to be 41. Landi Lara is real old, man. A lot of people don't like Landi Lara. I hear people tell me, "Oh, Landi Lara, man, he's boring, man. He run a lot." Well, first of all, he's changed his style completely. The man, all of a sudden at 40, said, "You know what? I'm done running around in boxing. I'm gonna start knocking motherfuckers out." Yeah, he's been knocking people out, but he promised he was gonna knock out Michael Zafarfa within 6 rounds. Man, I must have turned off the TV for a split second because I was at work. I turned back. The fight's over. They showed a 1-2. He hit him with a 1-2, followed up with the right hand. And man, I never thought I'd say it, but Landi Lara looks like a serious problem. Like I would say, like even at 40 years old, he's still somewhat elite. Is he exciting? He's even more exciting than he used to be. Like back in the day, I would say he's not an exciting fighter. But now, Landi Lara, with that knockout victory, man, let's talk about it. Like that was a hell of a victory by Landi. That might have been the most exciting victory I've seen from Landi Lara, man. It was a statement victory to me. He's a champion at 40 years old. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm not sure if Lara fights at 154 right now, if he fights at 160. I'm not quite sure. Y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section and let me know what weight Landi Lara fights at, because I'm really not sure. I don't want to give y'all wrong information. But he looked like He looked like he a problem, man. Even at 40, like I always said, no one was ever able to stop Lara. I think Lara got 2, 3 losses on his record. I think he lost to Jarrett Hurd. He lost to Canelo. I had him beating Canelo, but Canelo was coming forward more. So they gave Canelo the fight, but it was a split decision. One judge had Lara winning. So good win for Lara, man. Very impressed with Lara. We're gonna get to the co-feature. Now the co-feature had a lot of bad blood. We all know that. The co-feature had a lot of bad blood. Rolly Romero had been talking big shit to Pitbull Cruz all the way up until the fight was announced. He's been talking crazy shit. And Pitbull Cruz, you feel me? Kind of just being humble, typical humble. Doesn't really speak any English, so but he was saying in Spanish like he gonna let Rolly know what time it is. Um, First of all, the audience was letting Rolly Romero have it, man. Like when I tell y'all, they had no respect for the man. Like there was a standing ovation for Pitbull Cruz, and as I expected, but they were booing the hell out of Rolly Romero from the ring walk all the way to the post fight interview. Um, but, but let's talk about it, man. Rolly coming off a controversial win against Ismael Barroso, he needed to really show himself to me tonight. I didn't care if he lost the fight. I had a feeling Rolly was going to win the fight. I mean, Pitbull Cruz was going to win the fight anyway. But I said, Rolly needs to come out. He's got to win rounds. And he got to remind people who he is and why he got the tank fight to begin with. The power, the the awkwardness, but still being able to catch people. But he did not show that tonight. The fight was stopped in round 8. It was a good stoppage. I gave Rolly 1 round, maybe 2 at the most. A lot of people gave him 2 rounds. I'm gonna say I gave him 1 round personally. Like I gave him 1 round. I thought 1 round he had to. I gave Rolly. I gave Pitbull Cruz 6 rounds going into the 8th, and he was obviously winning the 8th, so it was about to be 7 rounds. You feel me? Here's what I gotta say. I don't know what Rolly's game plan was, but from the opening bell, man, as soon as he felt Rolly's Pitbull's power, he started backing up, backing up, backing up. It's like, and I'm thinking like maybe he's just waiting to counter him, but he never did that. Rolly's not a smart fighter, so he was never able to capitalize on Pitbull's mistakes. And Pitbull was making a lot of mistakes, man. He comes forward, he throws these crazy overhand rights, and it's like a smart fighter could capitalize on him. I truly believe that. But Rolly Romero is not a smart fighter, and when he smelled that power from Pitbull, he was scared, man. He was running. So then he was clinching a lot. The referee, who was a horrible referee, by the way, if y'all know the name of that referee, leave it in the comment section. I don't like that referee. I think he's a miserable referee. He took a point off from Rolly for apparently excessive holding. To me, it's like Pitbull, they were grabbing each other. It's like I would have warned Rolly. I wouldn't have taken a point off. Rolly wasn't gonna win the fight either way, but like don't make it obvious what side you're on. You know what I'm saying? Like terrible referee job in my opinion. And then obviously the stoppage victory by Pitbull in round 8. Just where does Rolly Romero go from here? Where does he go from here? It's like the shit talking can only get you so far. It got Adrian Broner far because the man was a killer at 135 pounds. At the end of the day, he was talking his shit, but he was backing it up. It wasn't until he moved up to 147 where he started seeing real problems. Well, Rolly Romero, man, his best win is Anthony Yidget. Let's call it spade a spade. That's not a great win. So yes, Rolly has power, but watching Rolly in sparring and just seeing Rolly in fighting, he's not what you call a talented boxer. He's got a lot of strength. He's really powerful. He's a strong guy. And I mean, if you let your hands down, if you're not a great fighter, he could definitely knock you out and hurt you. But if you got some type of skill and smartness, you're gonna beat Rolly Romero, and it showed that. And I don't know where he goes from here, man. I really don't know where he goes from here. Maybe we can get like a Rolly Romero versus George Kambosos on like an undercard of a fight. You feel me? That would be interesting. Two guys to me that never were that good. They could duke it out for an opportunity, like a title eliminator or something. After George Kambosos loses to Lomachenko, because we all know that's gonna happen. Um, but let's get to the main event, man. The main event was really, really the most mind-boggling fight of the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I made a few videos about the main event a few weeks prior to today, and I said that Tim Tszyu was gonna win this fight easily because I thought, Tim Tszyu, he's got a lot of momentum. He's coming off a really good win against Brian Mendoza, who beat and knocked out Sebastian Fundora. So I'm thinking like that's a confidence booster, knowing that you're about to fight a guy who got knocked out by a guy that you beat pretty easily. So I'm thinking, okay, Tim Tszyu gonna win this fight for sure. That was my initial thought process. But it was always a second thought that Fundora is 6'6". It is a 10-day notice. Like that could be an advantage for Tim Tszyu. I mean, or yeah, for Tim Tszyu, or it could be an advantage for Sebastian Fundora because Fundora was already supposed to be on the card. What does that mean? The man was in the gym. The man was sharp. The man was training. The man was ready and gearing up for a fight. He was as good as he was gonna be. So it wasn't really a 10-day notice. The only 10-day notice that it really was Tim Tszyu found out that he was fighting Fundora on a 10-day notice. Both men had been in the gym. Both men were sharp. So it wasn't like Tim Fundora was on the couch and then he got a 10-day notice like Robert Helenius did against Anthony Joshua. And it wasn't like that. It was really like man was in the gym. So 6'6" southpaw, man. First of all, give Tim Tszyu a lot of credit for taking this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have to take this fight. After Keith Thurman pulled out, him and his team could have gone in a different direction and been patient. The warrior that Tim Tszyu is, he took on the challenge, not knowing how difficult of a fight this was going to be. But let's get right to it. When the fight started, Tim Tszyu actually had control of the fight and was looking like in the first two rounds. My first reaction was, damn, I don't see this fight going the distance. I thought that Fundora would get knocked out, and then obviously a freak of events happened. A lot of people are trying to knock Fundora and not give him credit for the win, and saying that he did an illegal shot and he elbowed. He didn't do this. Tim lowered his head and caught an elbow. Fundora got real pointy, long elbows. So obviously, that's what I'm saying. That it caught Tim Tszyu real bad, and he started bleeding from the top of his head, where they say you actually bleed the most at. The blood was flowing and it flowed through his eyes. So by round four, he was bleeding all through his face and he was virtually blind. You feel me? So I had Tim Tszyu winning the first two rounds, but then after the first two rounds, Fundora started to gain momentum. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, from round three on, or from round four on, however you want to look at it, I only gave Tim Tszyu one round. From that point on, Fundora was just using his jab. He was doubling up on the jab. He was tripling up on the jab, keeping it simple. And finally, for once, using his reach to his advantage because he is 6'6". And when he used his reach to his advantage, he found out that he could do damage. Why getting a crazy brawl with Tim Tszyu when you could just use your jab and let's see if Tim could break that, and Tim couldn't because he was blind. Had Tim been able to see, I do think he would have eventually broken away from Fundora's jab, and he probably would have hurt Fundora later on. But nonetheless, man, Fundora to me won the whole second half of the fight. Won like I had it 9 rounds to 3. Fundora dominated. One judge had it 116, 112 for Tim Tszyu, which is crazy to me. And Fundora is the new champion of the world at 154 pounds, man. You got to give the towering Inferno a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying? That's the best win of his career, man. I'm not gonna throw that under the rug. This is a huge victory for boxing. This is a big upset. This is huge. Coming off a crazy knockout loss to Mendoza. Some people don't never come back the same. He came back and got his best win over Tim Tszyu. That's huge, man. And he deserved the victory too. So it was very proud of Sebastian Fundora, man. Um, and I don't even think Tim Tszyu should take the rematch, honestly. Like he has a rematch clause, he can get his belts back, but like that's a difficult fight even without the cut, man. Like Yeah, he had control of the first 2 rounds, but that he's not guaranteed to win that fight. I don't think he should just automatically jump to that rematch. He's 6'6". Fundora is a tough outing for anybody. Um, I stated that before. He is a tough outing for anybody in the 154-pound division. I really believe that. Because of his height, because of his reach. Um, that being said, after the fight, Earl Spence stepped in the ring. Earl Spence, um, you know, he obviously said he wanted to fight the winner. We all saw it on Twitter, and he went up to Fundura, and Joe Goosen said, this fight deserves a rematch. But that's all whatever. At the end of the day, Earl Spence clearly still wants to fight. Earl Spence needs to get back in the ring. He's with PBC. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're probably gonna give Earl Spence the Fundura fight. I hope they don't do that. What really should take place, I've been saying this all along. Now that we're now to the post fight, we should get Sebastian Fundura versus Terrence Bud Crawford. But since Terrence Bud Crawford is a free agent, I don't know if we're gonna get that fight. That's a good fight. I don't care what anyone says. To beat a 6'6" guy on your resume, imagine Terrence Crawford beats Sebastian Fundura. That's a huge victory for Terrence Bud Crawford to his resume. Because beating a 6'6" guy is a good win regardless. I don't care what anyone says. He ain't no bum either. So champion of the world right now. So here's what should happen. We should have a Earl Spence versus Tim Tszyu co-feature main event Fundura Terrence Crawford. That sounds like a great doubleheader. I'll win, I don't know, but that sounds like a great doubleheader to me. Obviously, in my opinion, Terrence Bud Crawford should get a fight before that because since they just fought, it might be a while before Tim Tszyu or Fundura get back in the ring. So you know what I'm saying? It only makes sense that Crawford get a fight in and Earl Spence. Quite frankly, man, because it's almost been a year since both of them men been in the. You know what I'm saying? Not a year, but it's been like 6, 7 months. They need to get back in the ring immediately. So that's how I feel about that. But nonetheless, great win for Sebastian Fundura. Great card on PBC, man. I gotta give them a prop. That was a great card. Um, a lot of people probably will say that it was an undermined fight. I thought that was a great fight. Fundura, uh, Tim Tszyu. If you didn't watch it, go watch the highlights. I recommend it. It was a great fight. Um, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. You feel me? And yeah, man, this boxing is back, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, this shit is crazy, man. What a great night of boxing. You feel me? It's late. It's not really there ain't no viewers right now, but I had to come give it to y'all anyway, cause that's what it is, and we're gonna get up out of here, man.